Hi y'all, welcome back to another episode of What a Plate. With your favorite girl, Tasia Nicole. Well, the last video was an hour long, so this won't be that. I can't do that no more. Like recording that much video, editing that much video, it's not for me. I've realized that after I had a manic episode.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
Trying to edit it, I won't do it again. Cause once I start editing, I can't stop. And when I can't stop, now I'm like it actually threw off my sleep schedule. So now I'm not going to bed until 3 or 4 a.m. So I won't be doing that no more. Cause that doesn't make sense. And it's a little crazy. But today, it's really not a lot that I'm going to talk about. Yeah, it's not a whole lot. I guess I should get to the point, right? Anyway, speaking up for yourself. How to speak up for yourself. It's not really how to, but it's just how I speak up for myself. This is not going to be the best advice. This is not good advice. I don't know. I think I started the channel with intentions of giving good advice. I don't plan on giving good advice no more.
Y'all not ready for this. You have no idea. You have no idea what's about to happen.
It's advice that works. It worked for me. Will it work for you? I don't know. I don't know. Results may vary based on who you are. Also, you shouldn't be listening to a stranger anyway on the internet. What the fuck? You shouldn't be listening to a stranger anyway. You should not be taking advice from strangers. Actually, you shouldn't be taking advice from anybody. But if you choose to take my advice, results may vary. I'm not telling you to do anything. I'm not telling you to do anything. This is what works for me. Let's get into it. Speaking up for yourself. So I think what prompted this was me hanging out with my younger cousin today. Went to gay pride. I'm not gay. Okay, I don't do that gay stuff. I don't do that gay stuff no more.
Gay? Girl, don't play. If I was gay, I'd be like, I'm gay, woo! And I hang with the gays, but I ain't gay.
But no, seriously. I can still go to gay pride. I still do, I'm out with the gays. I'm just not bumping coochies no more. And it was so cute to be out with her. She's young. Whatever. It doesn't matter. But hanging out with her little girlfriend. And that was cute. It made me realize oh my gosh, one, I'm getting older. A bitch is getting old. I didn't realize not my earring falling out. I didn't realize that I was getting older until I don't realize how old I am, or I'm getting older. I'm not old until I hang out with young people. Being around people at gay pride, now that I'm older, people are 18 and 19. 18 and 19. I was I'm thinking oh my gosh, it's babies here. They're not babies. Bitch, you was old. Girl, you old now. Take your old ass home. And my big toe started to hurt. And I'm oh my gosh, wait. My big toe hurt because I'm getting old. I used to walk around in heels all the time. At one point in my life, all I wore was heels outside. And now I just got a pair of high heel boots. Barely 5 inches. And my feet hurt. I said, oh my gosh, bitch. You was getting old. And that's okay. Because I wouldn't want to be that young and broke again. We was young and we was broke, and we honestly had so much fun being young and broke. Being young and broke was kind of fun, for real. No inhibitions, just outside. It doesn't matter. But the reason why I got to this point, speaking up for yourself, is because my cousin has a girlfriend, and with her girlfriends, she's all they always have a real aggressive attitude. I get you a stud or a dyke, get it, amazing.
And I've been a bulldagger before you was an itchy your daddy nutsack, nigga. You was an itchy your daddy nutsack.
But it's when they're young, they're always real aggressive. Like little boys, young boys. I don't know how to really describe it. But she just be letting them talk crazy. She lets these people talk great. It takes a lot to speak up for yourself. It does. It takes a level of I don't know, courage, I guess, to speak up for yourself. And I wouldn't say I was always like this, but I've never been one to be silent about something that I didn't like. Like, I think that's why people don't really enjoy dating me, because I don't sit by silently while something happens that I don't like. Like, I normally start off like, I got a question. And when you hear I got a question, that means this whole shit is about to go up in flames. Whenever I say to anyone I'm in a relationship with, I got a question, it makes them nervous. That's why it's bad to date me, because we'll be having a good day. We'll be having like an amazing day. Then I got a question. And that question is about to ruin the whole thing. And I know it is. I don't care.
The old man! Damn, the old man!
Fuck it. Good times are not meant to last forever. And they won't last forever with me. I got a question. And normally the question is about something that I already know about. So if you lie to me, so if you're lying, it's really over. Like, it's really over. I can have 3 straight days with you where we are playing house, we're cuddling, we're freaking. And in that whole 3 days, I know on the 3rd day, I know I'm about to end it. Like an evil bitch would. Because what you think, I'm slow? But anyway, she just be like, she lets people talk to her crazy. So I was like, you know what? Let me make a video on how to speak up for yourself. As a person that has been described as volatile, I wouldn't call myself volatile. I will call, or volatile, whatever. I wouldn't call myself that. I just know I don't mind conflict. That's the first step. The first step of speaking up for yourself is understanding you should like a level of conflict. Conflict is not bad. It's not bad at all. You know what? It's good because it's for you. You have to do things in your best interest. So number 1 is liking conflict. Number 2 is understanding it's in your best interest to cause conflict. Because when you don't, it just bothers you all the time. I can't imagine something bothering me all the time. I can't imagine sitting around somebody. I'm just sitting around and they're getting on my nerves and I'm holding on to something, because that doesn't work for me. Why am I doing that? If I'm going to be uncomfortable around you, shit, you're going to be uncomfortable too. We're both going to be uncomfortable. And that's the way that works. So now we're both on edge. I have something that I need to know, or I got something I need to say, and you're going to say it to me. And if you don't, I'm leaving. Anyway. But it's like when you're speaking up for yourself, you can't, not shaking. You just can't be scared. You got to take the fear away. Prime example. Sometimes when you're speaking up for yourself, like I am like conflict avoidant too. Sometimes I do avoid conflict. It depends on who it is and what it's about. But sometimes, okay, like when you are speaking up for yourself, one of the things that you can do is create a scenario. If you know you're dealing with a person that's like, you don't want to lose them. This is for if you don't want to lose a person. I don't mind losing people. Everybody I know could drop dead. That's actually really dramatic. That is very dramatic. That's okay. All right. Not everybody I know could drop dead. But I'm the kind of person I can survive without anybody. There's not a single person alive that I can't live without, is what I'm saying. So I don't really mind having conflict. But if you don't mind, if you don't want to lose people, if you don't want to lose anybody, there's a way. You create a story, right? Especially for those that you know are like easily offended about God knows what. We all know those people. You create a story. I was dating this guy. Won't say his name. He was a sweet man, but he just had bad breath. He had terrible breath.
Smelled like straight up. It smelled like a toilet full of nasty ass. Okay.
And I'll probably make a video, like a story time about him one day, because he wasn't like terrible, but how we met and how it happened. Oof. I wish him the best though. But anywho, his breath was bad. And when I met him, his breath was bad. Like his priority when he woke up in the morning wasn't to brush his teeth. And that really bothered me. Like because I have like my sense of smell, a really keen sense of smell. So when I smell something that bothers me, my stomach actually hurts and I start to feel like I'm about to go crazy. Like when something stinks, I feel like I'm about to lose my mind unless I get away from it or say something about it. I can't. So we're in the car It's early in the morning, and I don't know, I didn't live with him or whatever, but he came to pick me up, or we were leaving his house or something. And his breath, like, when we first started talking, he called me. I was like going to the gym, and he called me, and he was like, I feel like we never kiss. And I was like, oh, I don't really like kissing. Lying. I was lying. I was lying because I was trying to avoid it. He's like, I feel like we just don't kiss. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, it actually pissed me off because I didn't. He's like, yeah, we don't kiss. And I'm like, oh my God. Oh, I don't wanna. And he just wouldn't let it go. He like would mention, I'm like, I'm not really like big on kissing. Lying. Trying to avoid the conflict. Because men are always like, their egos are really fragile. You could just tell them you don't like one thing, and next thing you know, they just feel like you hate them, period. Whatever. But we were in the car, we were going somewhere, and I was like, it's this boy in my high school, and creating a story. It was this boy in my high school, and like his breath used to stink. And I was like, one thing I really hate, like, is like when a person gets offended, when you tell them their breath stink. I was like, I tried to get a guy a mint, it's a whole story. Well, actually, there was a boy in high school whose breath used to stink, and I actually really did take a mint and put it on his shoulder because his breath used to smell like a bag of shit, but that doesn't matter. But I was really like, I just really hate when people are offended, like when you tell them like their breath stink. And he was just like, yeah, like I would want to know if I stink. And the evil, it's not evil, but something started to conjure up in my spirit. It's like, I would want somebody to tell me if I stink, because like I don't want nobody, like if you don't really care about me, if you let me walk around stinking. And he going on and on and on. I let it get quiet. I was like, oh well. He driving. I was like, I want somebody to tell me. I'm just looking like. I said, well, your breath stink. Like, turn to him.
Your breath stink.
And he was like, no, no, it don't. You just saying it because you're being mean. I'm like, no, I swear to God, your breath stink. And that's one thing about it. When you are speaking up for yourself, or you saying what's on your mind, you can't laugh because people think it's funny. I typically laugh when I say something out of pocket because to me it's funny. Like, it's funny. It's funny. And also I'm always laughing. I'm very unserious, but dead serious at the same time. It's like even when I am breaking bad news, I will laugh. I will chuckle somewhere in there. I don't know what that's about, but I really do find it funny. It's not like I'm laughing because it's like a thing. I don't even know what to call it. I laugh because the shit is funny. It's funny because I'm saying it, Anyway. But I'm like, no, your breath stink. He's like, no, you're saying it because you just want to be mean. I'm like, no, I swear to God, your breath stink. Like, your breath really stink. And he was just like, oh, like, I wish you would have said something. Like I typically, like, you got gum. Like, I typically keep mints in the car, but he didn't typically keep mints in the car. He was a liar. You don't typically keep no mint. I knew that man by that time I had known him for like maybe 5 months. He never kept mints in his car. If you typically do something, that means you typically doing it. If I've never seen it in 5 months, you don't typically do a damn thing but lie. So I was like, I got some gum. Don't even worry about it. I got gum. And from that day on, he made sure when he saw me, he brushed his teeth. Brushed them. Your breath stink. And I've even taken it a step further before. Like, no, like, yo, your breath stink. Your breath smells like a bag of dog shit. Not even playing. And I'm not playing, because your breath stink. You're going to be around somebody and your breath stink. Also, too, when somebody breath stink, sometimes there's many reasons why somebody breath stink. There's the I haven't talked in a long time breath, where like you just been quiet for a long time. There's the I got a bad tooth breath. You can always smell a bad tooth because it smells like a bag of shit. You got you haven't pooped in a while. Like, sometimes you can smell when somebody got a poo, because it comes out from their stomach into the throat, and that dookie fluid is going up through the esophagus, and you can smell somebody's bowels. If somebody's breath, like, there's like the bad tooth, like when somebody doesn't floss, the don't floss and bad tooth smell is like really the same. When it gets to doo-doo, like doo-doo breath, they gotta poop. Promise. Swear. Once you clean your bowels, your breath smells fine. Y'all didn't need to know that. Y'all didn't need to know that. Ooh. Okay. All right. Cool. Another thing that you could do when speaking up for yourself, you know, if you're trying to avoid it, you could always say that somebody else said. All right, so prime example. Somebody that I dated before, whatever. He likes to date young girls. Likes to date young girls. And I let him know, like, you know, at a certain point, it's a little predatory for you to date young girls.
You want your daughters to date a 54-year-old man at the age of 19.
Imagine
20.
being 30, butt naked, standing over somebody's crib. That's what you should be thinking about when you out here ready to holler at these 20-something-year-old girls when you 50 plus.
Like, it's predatory. You know, it's like a cycle of, like, you dating young girls because they're naive. And those are the only people that would date you. I've said that to him. He didn't really take it well when I said it. So I had to reframe. Had to go back to the drawing board. Got to get in the lab and figure out how to tell him again. So then I decided to say my therapist said. Sometimes you got to say somebody else said. Like, oh, I told my best friend about you, or my cousin about you, and you have to say that they said. That way, because like people, when it's coming from you, people want to argue with you. When you say, oh, it came from my therapist, it came from my friend, but they gonna argue with them? And at the end, if they try to argue with it, I'm like, that's what, you know, all I did was explain who you are, what you do, and that's just what they said. You can't argue with me. That's just what and you take the onus off yourself and put it on somebody else that's not in the equation. And you could come up with anybody. I told my neighbor, and that's one of the easiest ones. I told my neighbor said, my therapist said, you know how many times I blame stuff on my therapist? My therapist don't be saying that stuff. My therapist said you're a bad person. My therapist never said that. I'm saying that. I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying what I'm saying is a good thing. My therapist said like yo, like you really a terrible person. You should be in jail. Whole time, it's me. Now, I would say, okay, those are like the two methods. The last one. If you have some way to stand up for yourself, I wouldn't say to the last one, second to the last. You could always text somebody. Me, I don't really get into arguing with people. I won't argue with you. Once I say what I gotta say, the conversation is done. It's done. Because typically I bring up stuff in a very roundabout way. I round about it. Like something bothering me, you know, I'll round about it, bring it up, and see if you laugh about it or see how serious you take it. And if you hear what I'm saying, like I'll make it like a jokey joke thing. Like it's like, you know, something that's not so serious. It's something that's serious to me, but I'll bring it up to another person and see how serious they take it after I say it, even though we're laughing about it. Then the second time I bring it up, it's a wrap. It's curtains. I'm not playing no more. It's not funny. It depends on what it's about, but it's also like it's just like not funny. So I bring it up and then I end it. You can always text somebody. You don't like something, you want to stand up for yourself, but you don't want to have the conversation, text. You can always put it in the text. I hate your guts. I never want to see you again. Your breath stink. That's why you're my... And end it. Block them right after you say it. Because there ain't no back and forth. Is it immature? Really. It actually really is. But if you're not the kind of person that can handle conflict face-to-face or over the phone, speak up for yourself in a text message. It takes nothing from you. You can respond. It could take you 4 days to 4 weeks to 4 years to respond. You respond when you feel like it. And the last one, if you're scared to speak up for yourself and you need to, say what you have to say and end it. End it. Say what you have to say. And then right after that, never talk to the person ever again. That's really it. Like, that's it. That's it. It's so many times where somebody has said something or done something to me, and I just end it. Like, you know what? Actually, I really don't even fuck with you like that. You're not like a likable person. I've done it several times. You know, I'll be around somebody, and I give people a lot of leeway because I don't really think about other people. So when I have to think about you, like think about you hard, like why are you in my life? How are you a hindrance? Once I have to think about you, because I'm very thoughtless, right? I like to only focus on myself. So once you're in my life and I feel like you're causing some type of like issue or something that you're doing is bothering me as I'm around you, I have to think about you. And when I have to think about you, I'm done. I don't do too much thinking. If it's not easy, because like people are very hard to navigate. People are very hard to navigate. It's like people are like moving targets and they do whatever works for them at any given time. But if what works for you starts to bother me, you gotta go. It's probably why I'm not good at relationships, right? Damn. I don't really care about being in a relationship either. I don't really give a fuck about it. That's probably it too. Because what works for other people may not work for you. And that's okay to admit that. It's okay to admit that what you're doing doesn't work for me and I gotta go. A lot of times people don't speak up for themselves because they're scared to lose people, or they don't know what their life is going to be like when the person is not in it. You shouldn't care what your life is going to look like without somebody in it. You shouldn't give a fuck about that. You have been you for however many years you've been alive. Why the fuck do you care? Why do you care about what your life is going to look like without a person in it? Remember when they weren't in it. Just remember the time they weren't in it. That's it. That's really it. My dad is a narcissist. And sometimes when I'm struggling in life to like think or to do, I just think about like, what would my dad do? Because the one thing a narcissist has, it's not nice to be a narcissist, whatever. But one thing about it, they do for self all the time. They make sure that they're straight all the time. No matter what's going on with you, they do like this it's a very self-serving sort of personality trait. And sometimes I think about it like, why am I even thinking about this so much? What would my dad do in this situation? Oh, be the worst person he possibly can be.
But you know what? She's right.
And sometimes that's just how it goes. Because people are going to do what's good for them, so you got to do what's good for you. And if it's speaking up for yourself makes you uncomfortable, being around that person or people doing stuff to you make you uncomfortable too. So which one you want to be comfortable with? I'd rather be totally comfortable with me saying the most aggressive stuff that I have to say and getting away from you than for you to do whatever you're doing to me and then you get away with it and you just end my life for no reason. I also don't like people in my life for no reason. Some people like to have people in their lives for no reason. I don't argue with people. And once I have to argue with you, once I argue with you, it's over. It's done. It's done. Because I'm going to take it too far. That's also a thing too, which is why I don't like to have thoughts. This is going off the beating path of what the conversation is about, but whatever. I don't like to argue with people. I don't think it's necessary to argue with anybody. What are we arguing about? Especially friends. I don't get into arguments with friends. I typically do keep friends around longer than I would a relationship. I've had friends for 10 years, 8 years. I've had friends for years. Relationships, longest one was 9 months. But friends, I'll keep friends around. Because friends is supposed to be thoughtless. Friendships are supposed to be thoughtless. Once we argue, it's over. It's over. I'm not arguing. Because I'm not even sleeping with you. Why are we arguing if I'm not sleeping with you? We can disagree. But to argue, no.
Me thinks not. Me thinks not.
No. I'm forgiving with that kind of stuff. But anywho, yeah, it's just, you gotta speak up for yourself. Because if you don't, shit, nobody else is going to. And also, it's your life. You know? One day I might come on here and give y'all some advice my dad gave me. My dad gives some of the worst, he's one of the worst people on the planet. Honestly, if he dies, I know he's going to hell. I know there's like a 99.9% chance he's dropping straight to hell. I know his name is like the first 10 names on the list. With whatever that cycle is of people that die, whatever year he dies, his name is on that first list to go to hell. They're going to go through the list. His name is on there. He got to go. It's impossible. Like, if my dad don't go to hell, I don't know what's real anymore. And it sounds awful, but he's one of the worst people I've ever met. So if he doesn't go to hell, I don't know. That means everything I've been taught is a lie. That doesn't matter. None of this other stuff matters. Just listen to the other stuff, because that stuff makes sense. Okay? Anyway, until next time.